Hey, Rush, you're early.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to. I'm
I'm
gonna just
like,
leave.
oh,
I'm gonna just leave this tab open until what I mean, just so that I don't get too um how can I say too busy to check in and jump in and stuff and actually hear.
oh, that's
You know.
that's cool, dude. That's cool. Later on today, I'm gonna be calling you to ask you for help on certain things. They keep saying if you need help, ask. And it's basically the Bitmoji class ideas. Hopefully, you can help me get that done.
Oh yeah, definitely
And
I can do that for you.
then certain parts that you think students need help on, as far as explanation, because
Mm-hmm.
your presence it loosens them up. So I'm trying to include you in how the classroom is taught.
Okay.
Hello, Miss Richardson.
Hello.
Okay, so you're a bit early. I'm gonna give everybody about 10 more minutes once the clock expires to get ready for class. So you wanna, hopefully you're on a computer. If not, these applications can be accessed on the phone, and the same is true for Google Docs.
I know. They still haven't called me, so I don't know.
Do your best on your phone and keep working on getting a laptop.
Okay.
All right, so 10 more minutes. Use this time to log into ESB, your Gmail account, because you're going to use Google Docs. And also, I'm going to put the link to this simulation, because you're going to need that in a moment, in the chat. We're going to be going further into review. And a lot of this stuff is from last week. Where's the chat at? So try to access the simulation because you're going to need to take screenshots for your Google Doc. Hello, Miss Terry. We got 8 minutes before we begin. Just giving people time to get in the room, get set up, and get ready to discuss today's Do Now, which is a review from last Wednesday. And if you have notes from last Wednesday, you want to find them in your Google Docs or your Google Drive. And that'll help you get this assignment done faster. We have a quiz coming up, and then we also have progress reports going out real soon in October. So please get set up and ready to go. In 8 minutes, we're going to go over our norms and jump into today's assignment. Welcome to class, Dajay.
Hey, Mr. Tyler.
How are you doing? Where was you at in SAT, dear? I think that's Christian.
What's going on, Mr. Tyler? What are you doing?
Give you guys 6 more minutes before we start class. Are you on a computer or a cell phone?
I'm on the computer.
That's great. So you want to
Yeah.
let me put the link in the chat. You want to get to the simulation because we're going to use that today.
All right.
Click on the link and get that ready. You should see the screen I have up. And then we're going to go through our assignment after we do our norms.
Where's the fucking... Oh, right here.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
My bad. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Turn this.
So as a reminder, when the clock expires, everybody has to have their cameras on for the duration of class. This is a policy by CPS and the State Board of Education, so that we know students are in class and not someone else. So make sure it's on by the time I check on you. And when we do the norms, we're going to call the norms out. So make sure your microphone is working as well. This is towards participation points, and the only way to get those points is to participate in class. Mr. Carter, welcome to class. Miss Lightu, welcome to class. Who is this?
Hey.
Hey, Sankar. I'm trying to see who else is coming in here. Miss Brown has arrived to class. Welcome to class. So I'm put the link in the chat again that you need for the simulation for today. You want to click on that link and get it started. This link is accessible for your cell phone, tablet, or computer. In about less than 5 minutes, we're going to start.
What are we doing next?
You said what, Sinclair? Welcome to class, Gabriel. Sinclair left. She's probably going to come back. So the link you need to start class is here, Gabriel. My phone, my camera don't work. I understand that, dear, but we got to talk to Irvin because you can't keep being on your phone. It's not going to be possible past the class unless you're able to do all the work and submit it on time. And I'm assuming your microphone works because you say you're on your phone. So when we do the norms, I'm calling you. You might want to make sure that works. So at 2 minutes, I'm going to take attendance again, and everyone else will be later absent. And we can start our norms and the assignment. Make sure you're logged into EDSB and your Gmail.
Right quick.
Who's speaking?
Y'all want some
Mr. Puentes, can you mute your microphone?
Mr. Tyler.
What was that?
Can you mute your microphone, sir? You got conversation in the background. Miss Moore,
Mr.
what were you
Tyler.
saying? Yes.
My camera gonna be on and off, so I can copy and paste my assignment.
I understand that. Because they're working on getting you a functional laptop, I think.
Yeah. No, my laptop getting repaired.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. I'm sorry. So yeah, definitely just try to stay in class and try to do as much you can Dajé on your computer. I do know that if you guys are logged into your Google Docs or your Google Drive, any computer or device you're on, you can access your work. Oh, just do as much you can in class, and you get to your computer, finish it up. This assignment and all the snapshots will be due about 8 p.m. tonight for full credit.
What we gotta do again,
Did you
Tyler?
get the link in the chat? You want to make sure.
Mr. Tyler.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Dajé, was you asking the question?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I can't get my snapshot right on my phone.
Okay. You using an iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
All right. So you have to press two buttons to do a screenshot. I think it's the power button and the volume up button for Mr.
Mr. Tyler, I know how to screenshot.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all you got to do. Once you screenshot, you send it to me email if you're on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Or you could
say, I don't know how to put it in my. I don't know how to put it in my docs.
I understand that. You can do it from the docs if you go to insert image. And you got to go through your photo roll.
Okay.
But if you can't do that, send it to me on EDSB and I'll add it to your score. But you have to try to type that document up on your phone. I did see with Syncyra, if you turn your phone sideways, you get a better view. You just got to unlock that orientation feature. All right, so let me take care of attendance. Okay, so Lisa Brown is here. Lee Carter's here. Mr. Champagne is not here. Khalil Connor is not here. Raymond Davis is absent. Sharon Franklin is absent. Syncyra Lightu is here. I don't see Gabriel's here. Yeah, he's here. Dajé's here. We're missing Joel Moreno. Lamar Porter's not here. Christian Puentes is here. Ariana Richardson's here. I don't see Melody. No Melody. No, Melody's right there. Melody's here. Jamil Tyler's here. Alexis Valdez is here. Mr. Wallace is not here. Let's save this to the office. Okay, so let's refresh and make sure they save. Let me stop this buzzer. Okay, all that. Okay, it just takes a lag because I'm like, it didn't save. It did if I refresh. Okay, so let's get into today's norms. We're gonna come back to the simulation in a moment. Let me grab the simulation. There we go, and put it right here. Okay. Okay, so norms.
Hold on, I gotta see if I can find
You had a question?
it.
No? All right. So let's get started. Definitely want to make sure you guys can see it. Okay, so let's start from the very top. Let me get my list going. Ms. Richardson, can you read number 1 from the 5 basic norms? Ms. Richardson, are you there? All right. Daje, can you read number 1?
No one has the right to hurt another person.
Thank you. Gabriel, number 2.
Are you on the camera?
Education in the classroom is sacred.
Thank you, sir. Number 3, my Wi-Fi messy. Okay, Lisa. Number 3, Lee Carter. Mr. Carter, are you there?
We would never behave in a way that discredit ourselves, our school, and our family.
Appreciate you. Lisa,
I
can
could
you
read
read?
one.
Yeah, I'm coming to you, sir. Lisa, can you read number 4?
At Excel Academy in
Lisa, can
Southwest,
you read it?
student is always a lady or a gentleman.
There you go. There you go. Melody, number 5.
I read it. Oh.
We take pride in Excel
Thank
Academy
you.
in
The academic
Southwest.
norms. Mr. Puentes, can you read number 1?
We respect the opinions of others.
Thank you, sir. Loud and clear. Sinkyra, can you read number 2?
We respect the
Thank
culture of the
you.
classroom.
Let's go back to the top. Miss Richardson, are you there? Can you read number 3?
We respect the opinions of others.
No. Number 3, dear.
Oh, we are. Wait, we are attentive and
Thank you.
participate.
Let's keep going. Daje, number 4.
We have high expectations of ourselves, our peers, and our teachers.
Thank you. And Gabriel, the last one.
We are here to focus on preparing ourselves for post-secondary endeavors.
Awesome. Very, very good, everybody. You just gained yourself a few points because we did our norms like we do in our building when we're in the building. All right. So quick question for participation points. Let's see who gets it in the chat. Don't blurt the answer out. Type it in if you know. What are 3 post-secondary endeavors? Now, if you type one of them, you'll still get credit, but you got to tell me what 3 of them are. All right, so while you wait doing that, I'm going to get started on today's assignment. If you know the answer to that question, you type it in the chat, and that's worth 10 points. But you got to tell me at least one of the 3. You type all 3, you'll get 15 points. But what are the post-secondary endeavors that we try to teach you guys about in terms of life? So I'm going to let that sit there until we get into our Google Doc and see who gets the points. So if you're in ESB, scroll up a little bit. Don't forget that there's still a Facebook drawing going on. And this drawing, all you do is follow the directions on the flyer that is inside of your ESB account to possibly win $100. Okay? So follow the directions on the flyer, go to our Facebook page, and do what the flyer is telling you to do. Now, this drawing is lasting until Friday, October 2nd. So definitely take advantage of that. If you are submitting that, you could possibly get the $100. All right, so Lisa took the points anyway. Thank you, Lisa. I knew you knew it. And thanks for giving people time, Lisa. You usually just snatch the points right up. But it's college, military, and trade school. Those are your options for post-secondary endeavors. Please keep that in mind. Not everybody has to go to college. Not everybody has to go to military. But you might want to look into a trade if those two options are not for you. Because knowing a trade can actually still make a decent income. All right, so let's get started on today's assignment. I'm going to put, the agenda in the chat. Have someone read it when I call your name. Just read what's in the chat. And that will get you at least 10 points. These are participation points. So let me see who has not spoken yet. Go down the list. So, Mr. Carter, can you read what's in the chat?
Asynchronous problems need to be completed and ready to present tomorrow in class. Asynchronous problems has to be completed as homework and will be checked tomorrow in class as well.
Thank you, sir. So that was just that easy. You got a few points for that. All right, I'm putting the next segment of our agenda today in the chat. Okay, and the reason I'm putting it in the chat is because not all the time you can see a PowerPoint, you can see Edsby, but you can at least see it in the chat because I know it's maximized so you guys can read it very well. Now, who hasn't spoken yet? Melody, can you? I'm sorry, I want to get somebody new. Christian, can you read what's in the chat? Start with to get maximum. Mr. Puentes, are you there? Okay. Melody, can you read it?
Mr. Tyler,
Yes, Miss Moore.
can you put the whole thing in the chat so I can set up?
Talking about the questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm reading.
You're reading in the chat there, to get maximum credit, Melody.
To get maximum credit, all calculation steps for the final answers to the
Synchronous.
and asynchronous
Yep.
problems need to be uploaded to ASB via is that the word?
That's via.
ASB via the same format that we have been using since the start of the quarter. This format is shown in the video.
Okay. So thank you, Melody. The rest of it is stay safe and out there. Zen. Zen means peace, meaning like, try to stay happy within. Don't let the world get to you. But understand that link there, I want to make sure everybody clicked on it and got it ready because it takes a little time to load depending upon which device you're on. And we're going to use that to make our snapshots of our simulations for today. Now, this is a review problem. And to getting back to what Dajay was asking, I'm going to put the question or questions in the chat. There's not many of them. And you should have notes on this because we've covered this last Wednesday. All right, so those are the two questions. Who's coming in the room? Let me see here. Joel made it. Okay. So Joel, we're almost starting our document off. You might want to get ready to take notes. Okay. Let me mark him present. He made it. There we go. All right. So Mr. Moreno's here. Now, I already put the link in the chat for the simulation. Let me put it in again because if you come in or out of the room, you have to ask me, Tyler, put the link back. I left the room and came back. The chat won't update with the same question anymore, right? Or the same information. So first thing is first, we got to start our document off, right? So you want to have your screen size like I do, and definitely make sure you're logged into your Gmail. A lot of students are trying to use their phones. Here's a problem with iPhones and Androids. If that is Christian Puentes, Miss Hicks, or Miss Vega. So Christian, eventually you're gonna have to. I think you say you're in your sister's connection or something like that. But eventually you're gonna have to log in as yourself because we have staff checking for attendance to make sure you guys are here. So work on that when you can with Mr. Irvin. But anyway, you want to open up a Google Doc. So you go to Google Apps, and you can do this on your phone too. And you click on Docs. First, you need to be logged in. I was about to say in a Gmail account. So that means it ends in some type of at gmail.com. And then the next thing is you want to make sure if you're on the phone, you download the apps. So I think they're separate. You're going to start a new document, blank. right? And it runs better. That's the thing I want to tell you guys. It runs better for these apps for Google if you have Google Chrome installed on your phone or whichever device you're using. So if you're using a different browser, be expecting a few headaches. We use Google because CPS forces us to use Google. So get used to it. This is kind of the future, guys. All right, let's start a new document. Let's name it, I mean. So it's due now. This is what we always do, right? Today's date, which is the 30th. And September went out the window. And save that as your new document. And then you do this because every document you guys do with me is going to be on your Google Drive. So Fridays, the tests are not that hard on you. You have notes. And all I do is I give you questions on stuff we did already. So there's no reason to get lost. You're going to start with your name. Next, you need to put the date again. You should be logging to your doc like I am and typing this up. Because if you try to review the video later and do it all at the last minute, you're going to be here.
Your screen extra small.
Oh, I'm gonna blow it up, Melody. All right, give me a second. So this is a third period, right? And the class is Intro to Engineering. So let me expand the screen so everybody can see it. And make sure when you're looking at my presentation screen, you click on the thumbtack, and it'll let you see an even bigger version of what I'm presenting to you guys. You gotta get in the habit of clicking which thumbtack you want to see all the time. So let me click on this. And it should be visible now to you. So I just changed the res to 150. Next, we need the title, right? So here's a participation point moment. Let's see who gets it the quickest. And you guys need to be quick because I know some students in here, they know where to go. In SB, there's a title. What is the title of today's assignment? So I'm going to skip that part, but if somebody puts it in the chat, they'll get 10 points. All you have to do is be in SB and tell me what today's title is. And I labeled it for you. So while you're figuring that out, I'm going to put the questions into the document. Simply go to the chat and copy the questions like Dajé does over to your Google document. So you highlight what you want in the chat, you hold Control, and you press C, and you come over here and paste it into your Google Doc. Now, let me scroll down and see if anybody got the answer. And Lisa said, yeah, I'm tired of waiting. She got it right. So, and you was going to get it anyway, Lisa, because you got it last time. You gave me the last period. Lisa gave me this title when she was in physics. So anyway, take what she gave us. She took the 10 points basically, but she gave us the title of today's assignment. And again, pay attention to what's in the brackets because that lets you know what today's word of the day is going to be. Put that in our document. I'm going to center it. Next, you need, of course, your exit slip, which is the terms and words of the day. So word of the day is, add that in there. And we should know what that is, right? Because some of us were in town, some of us are one. But if you know it already, type it in the chat and you'll get credit for it. I'm going to wait to the end to remind you of what it is in case no one gets those points. But the term of the day, I got to tell you that, right? And I kind of already did. Classroom term of the day. Remember I said it's in the brackets, right? Make sure you type this into your document because this is worth 25 points. Classroom term of the day is always what's in these brackets here that I leave in ESB. And it's the electric dipole. Okay. Now, why are you doing this word of the day and everything? Say you have everything correct, right? And then you want to get 25 extra points. That's what the exit slip does. Those points go into a reservoir or they go into a bucket that you use for other assignments you didn't quite finish okay. So if you had like 50 points towards one assignment, that 25 can make it 75, if you understand what I mean. So again, this is the exit slip. Make sure you have that typed in if you want those points. And all you got to do to get the points is make sure this is typed and also have the definitions of these words. So exit slip is worth 25 extra points. So what is the word of the day? Anybody know? Let me see if anybody got it. They said it in Townhouse. So I'm going to come back to it. And hopefully somebody gets those points before class is over. All right, so now we're at the fun part. And this is where I'm going to lean on the students' help. Please, please, y'all, don't let Lisa get all the points. I know this girl has everything organized and she has all the notes. So who knows how do we start this problem off? We covered this problem last week. And Lisa, if they take too long, just go ahead. Do you have the notes, by the way, Lisa, or should I type them out?
Yeah, I have the notes.
I kind of knew it. Okay, so Lisa, can you, give them 30 seconds. If they don't find their notes from last week, just put it in the chat.
Okay.
So Lisa is basically becoming, while you guys are trying to figure that out, what is called a lab assistant. Now, lab assistants are individuals in the classroom who are given notes in advance or take great notes, and they're able to help the class.
Tyler, that's so old.
Oh, that must be Sakira. Yes, that is an old robotics picture. You see Sakira in there? So this is when we was at the University of Chicago. We was at Lindblom, where my son goes to school at. And you see Sakira, you see Autumn. These are some of, you even see Mr. Rush in there. You see a lot of bulldogs who are also assistants to the class. They got certain perks. And, if you want to investigate that, you can talk to me. But they basically help the class move forward. And this is for positive behaviors. So if you want to join that team where you get notes in advance, you know exactly what to expect in class, try becoming either a bulldog or a lab assistant. They kind of double. All right. And I think Lisa's brother, Larry, was in there. So again, I got to get a picture with Lisa and her. I got old pictures with a picture with Lisa and her bulldog lab jacket. All right. So lean on her for help, but she's not going to give you the answers, guys, unless I ask her to. She's going to make you work for it. I've seen her do it. All right. So let me get these notes from the chat that Lisa put for us. Now, this is from last week. We're starting with the electric field again, right? And all the notes she put there are very much accurate. So you want to take a moment and copy these notes, because that's where I'm getting it from. And I'm going to help you guys in a moment clean up these notes so they look mathematical. So I'm just taking the notes from the chat like she gave us. Right? Class is really easy if you're paying attention. If you're doing something else, it'll get hard, because you'll do like, how did you do that? I missed a step. And I'm like, yeah, that's because you wasn't listening. So let's start with this here. You got this 10 to the power of 9, right? Now you got to edit this document the same way I would or Lisa would, because she copied it to chat, but I'm pretty sure Lisa has it set up already. In fact, Lisa, while I clean this document up, can you share how it looks on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, Lisa put it in the chat correctly, but they got to raise it, Lisa. They got superscript it. So can you show them how it's supposed to look so they could type it up correctly? Here we go. I see you, Lisa. All right. So, Lisa, you got to maximize that one window so they can see everything. It looks kind of small.
You talking about like for the big?
Yeah, you click on that, and then when you're done, you can click on it again, and it'll go back to the same size. So
Okay.
Go to 150% on your resolution, Lisa. You see where it says 100%? Change that to 150. Thank you. So you guys so far see, she just gave us the first couple of steps, right? Yeah, thank you, Lisa. You scrolled up. I was like, they're not ready for that yet. I got to explain everything. All right, so basically, you got to raise that power. So in the chat, it's 109. You got to raise that to the 9th power by using subscript. And I'll show you how. You notice all of the coulombs, they're squared, and the meters are squared in the above step. And then in the last step, I mean, the step before that, you see radius is squared. It's not radius 2. So you guys got to fix that using your Google Doc tools. All right, Lisa, you can stop sharing so I can show them how to do these things. Because we still got to do our simulation. How are we looking on time? It's 12:50. Okay, we got 30 more minutes. We still got to do our simulations. All right, so look, to raise certain things to certain powers, you clean it up by highlighting what you want to raise. So you highlight this 9, you hit format, and you come down here to superscript, and it's 9. Then you got this 2.
Mr. Tyler, why you not sharing your screen?
Oh, thank you. I thought I was. I forgot to share it. Sorry, Dajay. And sorry, everyone. So it's coming up. One moment. Okay, you should see something now coming up.
I see it.
All right. So I was talking about that 9. I raised it. Let me do it again with this 2 here. All right. You got to do exactly as Lisa did it. And I'm showing you how to do it as well. So I raised that to the power of 2. What about this? This is 2 here. I'm going to go to format, text, and I'm going to raise it to subscript. This is turned into exponent. So let me zoom in some more by changing the font so you guys can see everything. I want no excuses. So this should be better for you, right? See how I changed them to exponents? This radius is squared. It's not radius 2, right? So far, so good. And this is also radius squared here. Okay, so now it looks like it should. I forgot one right here too, huh? So everything I'm doing, you guys got to make sure it's done on your document. All right, looks better. All right, so Lisa, don't give us the next set of notes yet. We're gonna do our simulation, but towards the end, I'm gonna need to know the problem. Okay?
I know fucking feel good like that shit.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, Dajay,
I
can
can't
you
hear.
mute yourself? We're eating with you, dear. Thank you, Dajay.
Sorry, Miss Sorry.
It's okay. I heard number chips in my ear. All right, now Lisa, what is you want me to repeat?
Can you repeat what you said? You said don't post the problem.
Don't post the rest of the notes yet till we get done with the simulation. Okay? Because we got to make sure, if you didn't already, Lisa, the knowns are the same. I'm not sure if it's the Easter egg or not. So make sure the knowns are the same. And then the steps to do the algebra, we'll go through it. We'll go through it. All right, next thing I want you to... You said what, Lisa?
It's an Easter egg.
Okay. So the next step is this simulation, right? So everybody should have the simulation. If you don't, I'm going to put it in the chat one more time. And it should be open already. Because now you got to take snapshots to prove that you did in-class work, which is examining this electric field better. We're talking about something here called Coulomb's law. So click on the link, it'll load, and you should get to this scene here. And we're going to start with the macro scale. Now, in the macro scale, we dealt with, we had Q naught, and you can have up to Q1000. But you notice this is Q naught, and I showed you how you had to subscript things before or raise them to a power. This is why. Remember I talked yesterday about micro, that little symbol there, right? That's for charge, and coulombs is C. So scientific notation, make sure that's turned on, and you'll see exactly what I've been discussing to you guys in terms of what we've been calculating. Okay, so make sure force values, scientific notation is turned on. And next, we're going to give this a bit of charge. We can change it here by the dial, but we can also move it by grabbing and dragging it. And you notice as the closer you get, the electric field or the force of the electric field increases when you get closer to another charge. All right, so this is what is meant by point charges. And it's governed by something called Coulomb's law, just like Ohm's law. But as robotics, or I should say intro to engineering students, we're getting further and further to understanding electricity. And then as we move on, we're going to be doing circuit analysis where you will understand how the power in your house works. Okay, so the snapshot part. To do a snapshot here, you come down here, and I made sure this was easy because not everybody had the print screen button, right? You have to set your simulation up the way I have, and then take a snapshot by clicking on the FET simulation button in the corner. Once you do that, it should download a PNG file. We've been doing this since last week, so it should be easy. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that download. You should have seen it come over here in this corner and put it into my Google Doc. You need to have the same diagram as me. So take a moment and set that up and then put it into your Google Doc. So make sure you download it first, because if you don't download it, you're going to go to insert images in your Google Doc and you won't find it. So download it first as a screenshot the way I did.
You say I could just screenshot on my phone and send it to you?
That's what I said. You can send it in SB, Dajay. But make sure you get everything else typed up. You need 2 screenshots though, so you're almost through.
Okay.
So I'm gonna upload this image that I screenshotted into my document. So I clicked on insert, I went to image and upload from computer if you didn't see that. Once I did that and I made sure I downloaded my document, it'll appear in my downloads. I select it, hit open, and et voila, there's a document of what I was asking you guys about. So one other thing you want to do with this document so it's easy to move around is click on the document where you have the blue back border and make sure you click on wrap text. Once you do that, the document can move around easily for you. It moves around a lot better. In fact, I'm using my keyboard to move it around with my direction keys. But you got to click on wrap text. So I'm going to give 2 minutes for you to ask questions because we still got to get the problems done and we got one more simulation. So any questions on how to get this image that looks like mine's into your document? Okay, so use this time to get it into your document. You don't want to be doing this at 8 p.m. because you have an asynchronous homework problem. And while you don't have to do the simulation for it, you do have to do the steps that Lisa's going to provide us or I'm going to provide us. But you need these 2 images to make the assignment complete. All right, less than a minute, and then we go to the next simulation to put into our document. Again, this is really easy if you're on a laptop. If you're on a phone, you're going to take a snapshot and then send it to me in Esby, and then you still got to type up the document on the phone. Pretty tough. That's why you need a laptop. All right, at this point, you should have that simulation snapshot in your document. We're going to move on to the next simulation. At least at this point, if you could point out the norms and probably some steps if you have it, and I'll edit it, but just put what you have, okay?
Okay.
So let's move on to the next part of our simulation. Down here, if you notice, guys, and pay attention because we're moving on quickly, you have this atomic scale. Now, this is going to help you understand it in terms of the periodic table and what's happening. But you see, these dots represent where the force comes from. It's usually a circular ball that represents the electric force. So now you need this diagram to represent 2 charges when they're close to each other and how their forces repel. Very good, Lisa. You didn't put the numbers in yet. Thanks. All right, and I'll work with the known and unknowns. You have those or no?
Yeah,
okay,
I do.
So can you put that in next? Make sure it's just the same as the problem. I want nobody getting confused.
Okay.
So, because I don't know if it's an Easter egg or not. So now we're going to snapshot this, right? And just make sure you have it set up the same way as me. Same procedure, snapshot. Go back to your document. And right underneath this snapshot, you're going to put the next one. Insert, image, upload from computer. Now this is after you snapshot it. And I'll put that there. So now I have the next snapshot. Okay. Now is the part where we do our known and unknowns. And I'm going to see what Lisa has in the chat in a moment. Now the known and unknowns come from the physics problem above, or the engineering problem, I should say. Because physics is just an advanced level of, I'm sorry, engineering is advanced level of physics. Very good, Lisa. You got it. Okay. So, let me take a look at this. Yeah, K is, where's K at? K was a constant last time, right? Oh, you got the constant up there in the other notes. Okay, so let me break down what she has so far. And she kind of gave us the algebra first, but let me take what you need. And you guys take it from the chat and sections as well. So the first known value, this is a problem from last week. Get rid of this. Get rid of this because it did it twice. And again, these are notes that Ms. Brown just gave us. Right? And this is at 10, so let me blow it up some so you can see it. Okay, so this is what we're working with. If you're like, where did she get that from? Well, one, this problem is a problem from last week. Two, if you read the problem from the notes, electric field, E, right? And it's given the magnitude, electric field of magnitude is 2.7, right? So that's our E. And it's times 10 to the fourth. Now, you can't say that. You have to raise this to a power. So I'm going to format. And then I'm going to bring it up to an exponent. So clean this up for you because it was in the chat. And then this is the R value they gave us. And then for this one, this will be basically the K value or the electrostatic constant. And that's given earlier from the notes she gave us here. So that's this here, right? Take this and put this right here. So this is what you should have for K. And don't forget to change your values, right? So that 2 is not meters 2, it's meters squared. And this is not coulombs 2, this is coulombs squared. Okay. So everything looks better. Next part is, of course, the equations that you need to put into your calculation. So Lisa helped us out with that as well. So let me put this down here and then expand it so you can see it a little better. And change that from a font of 10 to 14 so you can see it on the screen. And if you notice, we got to fix this too. So we started off with the original equation from above. That was electric field is equivalent to electrostatic constant. Just multiply it by a fraction. And that fraction is, let me clean this up. There you go, R squared. The Q naught, which is the charge, and you saw the Q's in basically the diagram here that you should have a snapshot of. But we got to get Q by itself using algebra. So we divide by K on both sides because K divided by K cancels. So let me go a step further. 11:04. So I got 6 minutes to finish this off with you guys, so y'all can have a decent break. So I'm gonna divide this K and this K to divide, so we can cross that out. And this K crosses out, leaving only Q divided by R squared. All right, and I gotta change these 2's, right? Those are not 2's, those are squares. Okay, way better. I got some more to fix. So I'm going through and fix this, but you need to do what I'm doing right now so you don't have too much to do tonight. Because remember, you have a homework problem after this. And it's very much the same as this problem that we're taking notes on. What I mean very much the same, the only thing that changes is the numbers. You use the same procedure. But you got to give it a try. So I'm just going through and making sure these are all R squares. I'm showing you over and over how to raise it to a power. All right. That looks awesome. And this is a problem too. I'm gonna bump that down some. That's your homework problem. It's very much the same as this procedure I'm showing you. Okay, so just so you know, let's recap. We got Q divided by R squared. We wanted to get Q by itself, so we had to multiply by R squared on both sides. So here's a change, what crosses out there. So that part makes sense. So again, this R squared and that R squared, they divide to make 1. We're going to cross that out. And what else is crossed out is all this, actually. That divide is gone too. And then that parentheses is gone. Okay. So now you have Q. This Q that wasn't touched and was left. We just reverse the equation, and it's equal to this. All right. The next steps is what? We put the numbers in, right? We're doing good because we got 4 more minutes before we get ready to go. And I got to remind you of the word of the day if no one got it. So values, right? We put in for E, come here, E, let's just take this equation because we're trying to solve for Q and everything. And that's what the problem's asking. Let's put our values in slowly. Let's start with R squared. Lisa, you got the final answer already or no?
Yeah.
Okay, can you plug that in?
Sure.
So R squared. Make sure that's the right one. Yeah, I got R, okay. So we'll plug R in here and it's going to be squared. Then E, we got to plug that in next, right? What is E? Well, we said E was the magnitude of the electric field. Thanks, Lisa. And we got E goes here. And then K, we know what that is, right? We come back up to our known values, and that's here. Just copying and substituting them into where they go. Okay, cool. Now we're going to calculate everything, and Lisa did that for us. And to calculate it, I'm going to put this in the chat so you can do it for your problem tonight or your homework problem. Use something called Symbolab. It allows you to type it in very slowly. So let me put this link in the chat so you'll have it. And I hope everybody's been following along, because if you have most of this typed up or you started on it, you'll be able to leave a little early. Because we're going to share screens in a moment. So let's type in this calculation here. This is going to be what? So we use Symbolab by saying, and I put it in the chat in case you wanted to follow along. You use parentheses, it'll make another set of parentheses for you. And that's 0.44. Don't forget that is going to be our squared value, right? So we click on this button, we put 2. Next is going to be multiplied by, using parentheses, and I think this is a fraction, right? Because it's going to be 2.7 divided by, yes, a fraction. So you're going to use division, and it makes a fraction for you. You say it's 2.7 times 10, raise it to a power of 4. The next one is going to be, where are we at? 8.99. Oh, not that there, not there, but 8.99. There we go. It's times 10 to what power? Let's see here. To the 9th power. So I'm going to raise that and put 9. Come outside the equation and hit enter, and it should give the answer that you need. And let's see. So she put 5 point, yep, she got it. So you can see the E means times 10. That's engineering notation. So let me write in what Lisa put in the chat and just correct it for you guys. But that's all she had to do to get the answer. So the final answer, let's copy this and put this here. Lowercase q, because that's what it is. There it goes. And we said it's 5 point, Lisa 8.1. Yeah, 8.1. She's right, because there's nothing behind that 1. And then times 10. That's not minus 7. That's times 10 raised to the negative 7. So I'm going to put minus 7, and then I'm going to raise it to an exponent because that's what it means. There we go. Turn this off so it's back to a normal text. And what is this measured in? Well, if you don't remember, you go to the top and it says coulombs. That's what charge is. So don't forget to put it's measured in coulombs. And that's the end of that part. That's the end of that problem, I should say. You just clean it up and bold it. Now you'll see here in 2S, the homework, 2A is what it really is. 2A, you have a homework problem. And in 2A, you do the same steps. So you should have all these steps, but your known values are going to change. You're still going to find Q, and you're still going to solve it out the end using Symbolab to, tell me what the final answer is. If you only do the synchronous problem, you're not going to get full credit. You're going to get 50% credit. All right. And your exit slip goes towards past assignments. So try to do all parts. This is practice time. And you practice on the asynchronous homework problem. Okay, so back to this. What is the word of the day? Who knows what that could be? Because we're almost out of time. Thank you, Lisa. You were in unfair because she was in Townhouse. So yes, articulate. And I have her for a different class. So the word is articulate. And to get these 25 points in your exit slip, you need to put the definitions of both words, articulate as well as electric dipole. It has to be typed in next to it. Okay, so 8 minutes of class left. We get out of here at 1:20, and your next class starts at exactly 1:20. But you have a little time to stretch your legs to get ready for next period. Do you have any questions for me? Because we ran out of time for sharing screens.
Can you scroll down a little?
Sure, Gabriel. Where? Here?
No, some more.
Here?
No.
You gotta tell me where.
Right there.
Okay. Okay, so get this all typed up. And Gabe, by the way, thanks for turning on your work, dude. You've been doing a great job. Been seeing your score increase. You've been turning in the work and typing it up correctly.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you too. I knew she was gonna say something. Okay.
What's the word of the day again?
You said what, Melody?
What's the word of the day again?
Articulate. Let me put it in the chat for you. Okay. All right, and Lisa put it in there too, I think. Oh no, she said it. So if you have no more questions, you got 7 minutes to your next class. You're free to go. But make sure you get to your next class. I don't want nobody being marked absent. We got that principle. We got to keep going. So I'll be here for about 5 more minutes. If you got questions, if not, you're free to go. Please get to your next class at 1:20. Oh, Lisa helped him out. Cool.
Have a good day.
You too, Lisa. Thanks for your help.
You're welcome, and thank you.
Ms. Richardson, you got questions? Joel? So I'm looking at the screens. They're still here. Okay, if you got questions, you can ask. If you don't, your class starts. Next class starts in 6 minutes. Or 5 minutes, I should say. All right, Joel, you're the last person here. You got questions for me, dude, or are you there?
Nah, I don't got no questions, Tyler.
It's okay, man. Get to your next class, though. You have 4 minutes.
All right, hold on. Let me just finish. Hold
Okay.
on. I got
No problem. No problem. I just don't want you to be late. That's all.
Oh, yeah, I do start class right now. All right, Tyler.
All right.